And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with breaking news on the coronavirus outbreak. President Trump just a short time ago extending his timeline to slow the curve 2 more weeks to April 30th. The White House guidelines of social distancing, working from home, avoiding travel, restaurants, and bars. 1 month after the first death in the U.S. was announced, the country, now with more than 135,000 cases, more than 2,400 have died. The president also announcing a new test has been approved to get coronavirus results within 5 minutes. New York State hitting nearly 60,000 cases. The NYPD with nearly 900 members testing positive. Governor Andrew Cuomo extending the state's work from home order for another 2 weeks. And Rhode Island's governor expanding an executive order for state police and the National Guard to stop all out-of-state drivers, making sure they self-quarantine. The virus surging across the country. Louisiana's governor says a 33-year-old member of his staff has died. And Texas now reporting 500 new cases in the last 24 hours. The governor there now requiring air travelers from several major American cities, as well as California and Washington State, to be quarantined for 14 days. ABC's Stephanie Ramos leads us off.
Tonight, a nation in crisis. More than 130,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus across the country and more than 2,000 deaths. The top doctor advising President Trump, Dr. Anthony Fauci, today with a stark warning, saying the U.S. could see up to 100,000 to 200,000 people die from COVID-19. The total cases could number in the millions.
What we're trying to do is not let that happen.
The modeling estimates that the peak in death rate is likely to hit in 2 weeks.
Tonight, the president extending White House guidelines to slow the spread until April 30th.
We can expect that by June 1st, we will be well on our way to recovery. We think by June 1st, a lot of great things will be happening.
New York City alone, now with more than 30,000 cases, nearly 1,000 people dead across the state. Governor Andrew Cuomo today saying all non-essential workers must stay home for at least 2 more weeks. But the growing numbers in New York prompting President Trump to repeatedly float the idea of imposing a region-wide quarantine on the tri-state area yesterday. For hours, uncertainty for the tri-state's more than 30 million people.
There's a possibility that sometime today we'll do a quarantine. We're looking at it, and we'll be making a decision.
We'll be announcing that one way or the other fairly soon.
But that announcement never came. The president instead tweeting late last night a strong travel advisory for New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The state's governors strongly opposed the idea.
Also for New Yorkers, I know we feel under attack. Some of the reactions you get from individuals, even from governments, are frightening and suggesting that they'll take abrupt actions against New York.
Rhode Island among the states to single out New York residents trying to flee the virus hot zone. The governor deploying the National Guard to stop passengers on trains, going door to door and looking for New York state license plates.
Folks from New York present a different kind of danger to the people of Rhode Island.
Governor Cuomo threatening to sue. Rhode Island now expanding that policy, issuing mandatory quarantine orders for all out-of-state visitors. State troopers setting up checkpoints at Florida's borders along I-10 and I-95, stopping out-of-state drivers. Louisiana, another hot zone, now bracing for a surge in cases. The governor today saying the state will run out of crucial equipment in just days.
We think it's about the 4th or 5th of April before, down in the New Orleans area, we're unable to put people on ventilators who need them. And then several days later, we will be out of beds.
The numbers already spiking. Last Sunday, 837 confirmed cases. Today, more than 3,000. Other governors now racing to compete for masks, gloves, and most importantly, ventilators. Officials say Chicago could be the next city devastated.
But those who are at the bottom of the list may not see ventilators until, potentially months after they peak in terms of their COVID patients in their hospital.
Michigan's governor saying the situation in Detroit getting more dire by the minute.
We, the states, are trying to actively get every piece of PPE that we can. We're bidding against one another, and in some cases, the federal government is taking priority.
And tonight, news of another outbreak at a nursing home. 66 residents testing positive at this facility in Maryland, 11 hospitalized. one person dead. The state's Republican governor cautioning the president that his messaging to the country that we could soon return to life as normal is not helpful.
So we're going to follow the doctors and the scientists. I think most governors are going to do what they think is right in their own states to save lives.
All right, Stephanie Ramos joins us now live from here in New York. And Stephanie, a bit of good news tonight. Governor Cuomo sharing that the attorney at the center of the COVID-19 outbreak in a New York City suburb is doing better tonight.
That's right, Tom. Good news indeed. The governor announcing that the lawyer from New Rochelle, New York, who was diagnosed with COVID-19 March 2nd, at one point, he was even in critical condition, but he has now been discharged from the hospital and is recovering at home. Tom.